Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are here to talk about the brand new 2022 Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets. This is the goal planner that I use to figure out, plan, map my progress, all of the things related to my goals, and it has absolutely changed my life. I've been using the Power Sheets for 4 years and I could not imagine working on my goals without them. So I'm so excited to share this new version with you. I know this is gonna be a long video, so I want to get right into it. There will be timestamps in the description box if you want to jump to a different section of the video. We will start by comparing the new version for next year to this year's version, what's changed, what hasn't, what I think about all of the changes, and like basically a side-by-side comparison from last year to this year. Then we will move into the accessories. I will talk about all the brand new accessories they have for this year, which actually is a lot, and then what some of the revamped accessories are. Then I will talk about some of the launch day bundles. If you order on launch day, they have a lot of really great deals if you're looking to get some of the accessories with your product. And then I will wrap it up by talking about their live event. I almost said in person, but it is virtual again this year. It's called Cultivate Your Year Live, and it's one day where they walk you through all of the prep work in this product. I will talk about whether I think it's worth it, whether I'm attending, and all of the details related to that. Before we jump in, I also want to let you know that everything I'm showing you today, I did purchase myself. I am an affiliate, and that allows me to purchase early. And so I was able to purchase Power Sheets and some accessories, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. They are sending me another set of Power Sheets complimentary with some other accessories, but that box has not arrived yet, and I wanted to get this video filmed for you. So when that box does arrive, I'm debating between two covers, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the covers, and I will share some of those accessories that I get in that box and what cover I end up choosing in a future video. But I just wanted to make sure I let you know. If you do find this video helpful, I will leave my affiliate link down below. I do get a small commission if you purchase through that link. I would greatly appreciate that. Lastly, I am doing a giveaway with Cultivate What Matters for a set of Power Sheets over on Instagram. So if you don't follow me over there, I'm at PlanwithLaken on Instagram, and you can enter on launch day to win your own set of Power Sheets. All right, let's talk about all the changes between last year and this year. Again, this video is focused on the facts of the product and what the differences are and what you can get. If you want more information on how to use this product, I have lots of other tips videos, as well as every single month I upload a video talking about my goals in this product and how I use it every single month. So you can check out those videos if you want more information on how to use the product. Today we're really talking all about the what and my thoughts on the what. So let's start with the actual physical changes. There really aren't any. Like, there were some upgrades last year that we had to talk about. This year, it's basically the same product. It just says 2022 instead of 2021. But the coil, the corners, the way that the cover feels, all of it, it's basically exactly the same. They also have more cover options this year. So this is the neutral cover that I got. I got the neutral because I wanted to see what the insides were different between the neutral and the colorful, which we'll talk about when we get to the insides. I also have the green cover on its way to me. This is their limited edition for the 10-year anniversary. So I'm still debating between the neutral and that green, and I will definitely let y'all know in a future video which one I end up going with. The other cover options include this kind of coral pink color, this light blue color, a super bright teal. This is one of the other ones I debated, and then a floral cover. I also want to say, don't put too much pressure on yourself to pick a cover. It is fun and it's exciting, but it is just the cover. And honestly, my Power Sheets sit open on my desk every single day, so I hardly ever look at the cover. If you are struggling to pick a cover, they did post this fun photo that has a word associated with each of the covers, except for the floral one, so maybe that will help you pick out a cover, but don't pressure yourself too much. The cover is definitely not the most important part of this product. So one of the other things that's new this year as part of their 10-year anniversary celebration is these gorgeous boxes, and they are, they're quality. This is a quality box, and I love that it's a normal gift box where the lid is on top like that. You know, some of the other planner companies, they do a different style box, and I just don't like it. These boxes are super, super sturdy and super nice. The color of the box coordinates with the cover. So this is the neutral box. They all have this gold foil design on the top, but the background color of the box varies based on what cover you get. So the green cover has a green box, pink one is pink, the blue one is blue, the teal one is teal, and then the floral one is a hot pink. That box, I bet, is beautiful in person. And I love the idea of using this to store my Power Sheets for years to come. I don't know that I will ever go back and actually look at them, but these boxes are just absolutely beautiful. So the first thing you'll find inside of the Power Sheets are a couple little cards. They have this one that says, "Hello, fresh start." They have this one that says, welcome to the Cultivate family. And then it's got this little like checklist of things. Order your power sheets, which you've already done if you have them in your possession. Open your power sheets, goal school, prep work, goal setting pages, wildcard, and fill out your first tending list. I think that this is fun, especially if it's your first year. And then back this year is the word of the year card. They did this for years, and then last year they didn't include these, and everybody was really sad. So I'm really glad that they brought this back. What I did with it 2 years ago was I just wrote my word of the year and like with a Sharpie on here, and then I put this on my bulletin board so I could just see it all the time. So I probably will do the same thing this year. All right, let's go inside. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So every power sheet has a pocket on the inside. It is not the most sturdy pocket. It is paper. If you pull too hard, it's going to come off. But for most of the things that I would ever stick in here, the pocket is just fine. The design on the inside page varies based on the cover. So the neutral has this like gold stripe on the inside. The pink one has the floral pattern. The blue one also has this gold neutral stripe. The teal has that like teal trellis pattern, which you'll see later on a pouch that I got. The floral one also has this gold, but with a pink pouch. And then the green has that floral pattern. So all the inside pockets look different as well. Then we have the first page. So this looks very similar to the last year's page. This design is a little bit more like, I don't know, Cindy had a good word for it. It's not quite as flowery as it is normally, but same like hello, whatever the year is, and then a place for you to write your name. And then we have the sticker page. And the sticker page is very similar to sticker pages from years past. The first thing that you'll probably notice if this is not your first year is that the colors are different. We'll talk more about that when we get to the actual sticker book. And then these little icon stickers are different, which we will talk about when we go through the prep work. I love, so the very first year when we went to Cultivate Your Live in person, they encouraged everybody to rip the sticker page out and use every one of these stickers during the prep work. And I really loved that challenge. So I did it again last year, and I will probably do it again this year, is that just go through and work on using every one of these stickers during the prep work process. It just encourages you to use your stickers. If you're like me, you tend to be a sticker hoarder. All right, let's start flipping through the actual prep work. So they have this like opener page with the definition of Cultivate and a little note from Team Cultivate. And then here on page 5 is where the actual prep work starts. And I wanna start by saying, if you've never used Power Sheets before, as I flip through this, you're probably going to feel like it's a little bit overwhelming. Like there's a lot of prep work. I promise it doesn't feel as overwhelming once you start writing than it does when you're looking at every single page blank. I also want to mention there are some little wording changes, the quotes or the little tips compared to last year. I'm not going to go through all those details. I'm not going to tell you like this word is slightly different. What we're going to talk about is the actual pages, like the topics of the pages and what's different from last year. Truthfully, there's not a whole lot that's different. So this first page, exactly the same. I typically do kind of like a mind map on this page, like little bubbles of topics and then some ideas off of that. Then we have this page that talks about comparison, and then an About Me page. These are both very similar to last year. Then we have a page about what makes you come alive and what fires me up, also very, very similar to last year. Then we move into the Cultivated Life evaluation pages, and these are slightly different from last year. They did get a little bit of an aesthetic upgrade in terms of where the colors are. They also got these little icons, which you'll see play out again in the sticker book. I do love the little icons. I think that that's really fun. However, the icons do make it harder if you want to change the headers for anything. They also changed some of the headers themselves. This used to just be health, and now it's health and wellness. This used to be spouse or focal relationship, and now it just says focal relationship. And this one used to just be work, and now it's work and learning. I think that's all very helpful. For the most part, these categories work for me. I really like this page more. It's just like a check-in. Like seeing where I'm at in each of these categories. It may or may not really influence the goals that I choose, but I like using this as a check-in page. All right, moving along to pages 12 and 13. These are basically the same as last year. This was one of the things they did condense from 2020 to 2021. This used to be 4 pages and they made it 2, but it's basically the same this year. Then we have these pages about breaking free, who you really are, and moving past fear. These are basically the same. And then 16 and 17 talking about legacy and the big picture and where you want to be when you're 80. These pages are also pretty much the same as last year. So up to this point, it's basically the same. If you have used Power Sheets before, that doesn't mean that these pages aren't valuable. For me, I always get something out of answering these questions, even if they're very similar to the questions I answered last year. But up to this point, it's very similar. This is where it starts to get different. So this first page here says my big picture vision. And this page doesn't really have a page to compare to from last year. It's pretty much brand new. And this is where you write your big picture vision for each area of your life about where you want to be in the long term. So it's got all 8 of those categories from the Cultivated Life evaluation page, you know, health and wellness, focal relationship, etc. And it has you kind of like write what your big picture vision is. I like this page. Like, I like the idea of thinking about where I want my life to be in the future in each of these categories and what I would want long term. This page, however, is totally new. So there used to be a page here called My Cultivated Year, and it was just where you could start brainstorming some ideas based on your answers so far for the next year. And I'm not going to show you mine because it has some things on there I don't want to share, but it was just blank, and it just kind of encouraged you to pull some things that were similar in all of your prior answers. Now they're encouraging you to kind of brainstorm for the year based on each of these categories. And I don't love that, because one of my favorite things about the Power Sheets is that I don't have to operate within categories, and that I can pick goals based on what I want. And that might be 2 from the health and, you know, 0 from the friends for that year. And I feel like this transition from the big picture in each category to this year in each category is really encouraging you to pick goals in each of these categories. And I don't necessarily love that encouragement. I think if you do the prep work, if you've used the Power Sheets before and you do the prep work as they say and you fill this all out, but then you don't use everything here to set up for your goals, I think it can be okay. I feel like some of these changes, there's another one I'll talk about later, that I feel like if it's somebody's first year, it's encouraging them to do something that I think kind of takes away of one of the big benefits of the Power Sheets. But again, those are just my thoughts. I don't necessarily love that concept, but this is a brand new page, and then they kind of changed up how this page works. Then they have another quote here, because this page used to be opposite of the kind of overview page. So we basically added 2 pages right here. And so this page is basically the same, what I'm saying yes to and what I'm saying no to. Then we have this kind of like summary page where you kind of fill in a summary from everything you've answered so far. This page is basically the same. Then we start to get different again. Well, page 24 is basically the same as last year. Page 25 gets very different. So let's talk about this. So it starts by talking about having 3 different types of goals. So they talk about habit goals, finish line goals, and big dream goals. I like the idea. I get the concept. It reminds me a lot of Moxie Life. They also talk about 3 types of goals. They call them like maintenance, something, and then stretch goals. It's not quite the same, but like kind of similar to the Moxie Life goal options there. But they have these good definitions about like goals that you would just maintain as habits, goals that have a finish line within this calendar year that you actually would be able to check off by the end of the year, and then goals that are kind of big dreams, life-changing goals that you might not get to by the end of the year, but you could take steps towards and like make progress in this calendar year. So then they have this little chart on the bottom that has each area of life and then each one of these sections. And it says to use the grid to check off what type of goal might be needed in each area of life. You might choose 2 types for one, and some you might not choose any. Again, this feels like a little, I like that they say that you might not choose any in some areas of life. I like that. But it also, again, feels a little bit pressury to be picking goals based on each of these areas instead of like picking what I need. Like, what if I want 2 finish line goals for health and wellness? I mean, I guess I could put 2 check marks there. I also don't know that I would use this as well. It says brainstorm and check off. I feel like I would actually write in things here, like ideas for each of these, and I could fill in every one of these if I really wanted to, but that may not be what I want to focus on. So similar to that other page, if you're using these pages just as idea pages to think about what you might want in the new year and not as like hard, this has to be what you use in the new year, I think it can work. I like the idea. I'm a little bit unsure in how it guides people who've never used Power Sheets before. So this next page is different as well because it is more about these kind of 3 types of goals, and it just gives you some examples. It gives you examples for friends and then for health and wellness. I feel like if you wanted to put ideas here, I wish the ideas had been before that page. Or that they had space here for then you to write your own ideas, right? If this one was just meant to be like, I'm gonna check it off, and then this one I wanna actually come up with ideas, I wish there was kind of a space to do that. Last year, this page was all about simplifying. Okay, then we get to the rough draft of your year. This page is basically the same, except all these new tips at the bottom. I like the tips. I am here for the tips. I think that is one of the things that makes the power sheets valuable and special are the tips throughout it, but it is crunching your amount of space. I think this is still plenty of space for me to do kind of a rough draft. I might have to write a little bit smaller. So I kind of like the extra tips, but I know some people might be kind of sad that there's not a whole page for you to do your rough draft. Then you have a quote page, and then you have your yearly goals page. This page is basically the same. It's really faint so you can't see it, but it's got these little page flags where you would start color coding. So you would put, if you've never used power sheets, you would use these page flags to color code. There are 8 spaces for 8 goals. There are 10 colors. That way you just pick the 8 that you like the best and leave the 2 that you don't. Like, I don't really feel like I need 2 peach, and these, like, some of these are really close together. And you may not even use 8 if you don't pick 8 goals. The biggest difference change from last year to this year is it used to say goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, and now it doesn't say that. It just has space for 8, which I feel like is not that big of a deal. And I like that it does remind you it could be 1 or it could be up to 8. So you could have any number of goals in this section. I feel like it goes back to reminding me that it doesn't have to be based on those categories. Like on this page, I felt like, oh, it has to be based on those categories, but it doesn't. It can be, it can be 5 of whatever it is that you need. All right, then we have a little bit of a flip-flop in terms of order. Last year we did the vision board and then the word of the year, and this year it's word of the year and then the vision board. I think that that's fine. The other big difference here is that it used to be 2 pages for the word of the year. So you got to brainstorm a list of ideas, and then you had a separate page where you actually wrote your word of the year, and it was really beautiful. I really love that page. I'm really sad that we don't have that page this year. I don't know, I feel like this page was beautiful, and now you just write your word of the year down here on this line, and like, that's it. So we did lose that page, but at least we got the word of the year card back, but I'm kind of sad that we don't have our word of the year page. Then we have the vision board page, kind of the same thing. I never really use this page, if I'm being honest. I like doing my vision board somewhere separate. And then these 2 pages are totally new, like brand new pages. I wouldn't consider these prep work though. Like, they have a couple questions, couple little check marks, but they're not like big open-ended questions that you have to answer. So there's a page about taking the pressure off and working small steps little by little. And then there's pages about turning challenges into opportunities and some different struggles that you might have and how you can turn those into opportunities. I'm here for it. I'm always here for some more teaching, and it's not too much extra work on your part. Okay, that's all the prep work. We technically did end up with 2 extra pages. Last year it ended on page 31 and now it ends on page 33. But it's really only that 1 extra page of writing and like of actual work. The rest of it is just kind of rearranging, some extra teaching, etc. So it's not like we gained that much more prep work from last year. Then we move into the goal action plan pages, and I have some love-hate relationships here. So this left page is very similar. The biggest difference here is that this box is a little smaller, and they've added these 2 extra sections where it says what type of goal. Is this a habit, a finish line, or a big dream goal? And then what area are you working in? Health, friends, those 8 areas of life. Again, I like the concept here. I just don't want anyone to feel pressured that they need to check off all the types or all the areas of life. So I feel like I just needed to add that in, but I'm okay that they added that in. That's basically the only change. Then they have the resources, this goal aligns with. Actually, it says this plan aligns with instead of this goal. I didn't even notice that. And then what success looks like, what would happen if I don't make progress, the people that will be impacted, and how I will have fun. It's pretty much exactly the same. It doesn't say the goal number at the top. They've kind of just gotten rid of that goal number concept. And then they also took out this little progress bar at the top. That doesn't bother me. I never really use that progress anyway. And now this side. So they changed this up. Last year, they added in this whole structure to do these quarterly mini goals. And I was so excited because in 2020, I'd started doing my goals that way, and I had to basically create it for myself. So I would have however many yearly goals. I would have a big annual goal, and then I would break it down into 4 small quarterly goals. And I started doing that in 2020, and it worked so well for me. So in 2021, when they added the actual structure into the power sheets for me to be able to do it that way, it was amazing. It was so helpful, and I really, really appreciated it. Well, they took it all away this year, and I don't really know why. I don't know if they're encouraging you to do it differently. I also noticed that it doesn't say yearly goal here. So I don't know if they just you know, you might set 8 goals for the year at the beginning, but you may not work on all of them every quarter, and that's what they're kind of encouraging you to do. Again, I'm not quite sure what they're going with here, but last year, this page had like, I mean, the little design doesn't bother me, but it had the blank space for you to kind of brainstorm. And then it had this section at the bottom where you set your mini goal for January through March, and then the action steps that worked towards that mini goal. And now you don't have that anymore. Now there's plenty of space here, you could still do it. And if you read the little words, it says that you can go to their website and print out a wild card that looks like that. And I'll pop up a picture, it does. It looks just like it. You could literally print that out, tape it in here, and it would look exactly the same. Do I want to have to go through that extra step 8 times to have that wildcard page? No. So for this particular thing, I will probably just draw a line and do the brainstorm on top and then the first quarter goal on the bottom, just like last year. When we get to the refreshes, it's not going to be quite that simple. So you have 8 of these pages so that you can break down all 8 of your goals. If you set 8 goals or however many, you saw I had a blank one from last year because I only had 6 goals. And then we have this yearly overview page. The biggest difference here is that instead of it saying Q1, 2, 3, and 4, it says season 1, 2, 3, 4, and it doesn't really bother me. I did originally use this page. I had sticky notes with ideas for each of my goals in each quarter. I didn't really bother with the months. I just had sticky notes under each quarter with ideas for the goals. I'd never really found a good use for this page, but I know the Facebook group has a lot of posts about how to use this page if it's something that you're interested in using. Then you have 2 blank pages that you could also add wildcards. I forgot to really explain kind of what wildcards are. When I say wildcard from Cultivate What Matters, what they mean are these additional layouts. They're like one-pagers that have all these different concepts. Like they have a declutter version, they have a calendar version, they have a road trip, like they have basically any kind of concept, and you can print them out for more space to track or break down a specific goal that you have that's unique. And when we get to the accessories, I'll talk about you can order some of them pre-printed, or you can go to their website and print them all off of there, but I've never really used them. So most of every year these 2 pages just stay blank for me, but they did give you some pages to put wildcards in, and then they also encourage you to put the wildcards on the tabbed pages. Okay, let's get into the monthly section. So the tabs are neutral. If you get the neutral, the tabs are very neutral. That is the only difference. This is last year's, by the way, not this year's, but I think the colors are very similar in the colorful this year. And it's very, I mean, even the quote is exactly the same. This is the only difference between the neutral and the colorful are the outside, obviously, and then these tabs. All the other pages are exactly the same between the neutral and the colorful. So we have the January tab. We have this first page that's prepare well, important to do's, excited for, on my mind, I'm hopeful that. This is exactly the same as last year. The calendar, exactly the same as last year, Sunday through Saturday. I never figured out a good way to really use this. I tried a number of different things over the last couple years since they've added this in, and it's never really been consistent for me. Then they have these 2 like teaching pages. This is just for January. So they have tips on how to do certain goals the first month of a new year, and then tips on making a attending list. This is not every month. And then you have your brainstorm page. This is very similar to last year, which was a huge upgrade in my opinion, where they have monthly, weekly, and daily ideas. And the only difference is which areas this month's goals cover. And they remind you, you don't need to touch all 8 each month. I'm really glad that they say that, but this page is very similar to last year. The boxes are a little bit smaller, but I feel like they're still plenty big to get those ideas out. Then we get to the attending list page. This page is the bread and butter of the power sheets. Like this is the page that makes them unique and changes my life. And it's very similar to last year. Okay, you've got your encouraging words, your priority, monthly items, same number, weekly items, same number, daily items, same number. Here's where it gets different. So last year, and let me show you one from last year. So last year they had, in between the new weeks, it had a slightly darkened line. Do you see that right there? It's like a little bit darker between those lines. And it was mostly between Sunday and Monday. There were a lot of typos in last year's version. Not every month had it between Sunday and Monday. Some months that darker line was between Tuesday and Thursday. One month it was between Thursday and Friday. So that did not get checked very well. But it seemed like the goal, because most of the months were between Sunday and Monday. Well, this year, what they did instead of a darkened line is they actually added a little breaking point, which I actually kind of like the breaking point. I like that you can see, especially if you're trying to match up to the weeks, you can see like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 of the month. What I do not like is that it's between Saturday and Sunday. I know that everybody differs on whether they think the week starts on a Sunday or Monday. For me, the new week starts on a Monday. Sunday is part of the prior week. So I wish that this little breaking point was between Sunday and Monday. And that seemed to be what they did last year. So I don't know why they went to a Saturday-Sunday break. So that is just my struggle. I don't mind the breaking point. I just wish it was between Sunday and Monday. So I don't know if this is really gonna bother me a lot this year. We will find out, but that is my one complaint about the attending list this year. And then the month in review page is very similar, except that it is not colored. It's neutral, and this is the same for both the colorful and the neutral. It had these colored boxes last year, and this year it's just these neutral boxes. I am very bad about remembering to go back and fill in this page, if I'm being honest. I usually am just so excited to move into the new month. So then you have the same thing for February and for March. And then when we get to April, we get to our quarterly refresh. So it's got this like refresh page that's pretty with the flowers. And then we have the Cultivated Life Evaluation Check-in. The big difference on this page is it's got a space for you to write the previous one. Cindy in her review video talked about a good tip, which was to go ahead and pick your new one and fill it in, and then go back and fill in all your previous ones so you're not like kind of swayed by what you had before. I really like that idea. Again, I like the idea of just like checking in with my life evaluation. Then every quarter, it's got like a page of teaching stuff. This is pretty similar. Q1 and Q3 are pretty much the same. Q2 is a little bit different. This part never really it doesn't excite me all that much. I get the value of it, but I would rather have something else, which I'll talk about in a minute. Then we get to the keep moving forward. This page looks very similar, except it's actually a lot more neutral. There was color. It has like a really faint color here, but you can hardly see it. But kind of the same questions that they had as last year. And then your refreshed annual goals. So it's interesting because it doesn't say annual anywhere, except down here it does say 2022 yearly goals as kind of a reference point. Same thing. It doesn't label them goal 1 through 8. It just has the faint outline of the flag and then space to write it. And then it has space for your word of the quarter. I kind of like that. I don't know if I'll really use that or if that'll really impact me, but I do like rewriting my annual goals. Sometimes I change them. Like I add one or take one away or change the wording. But even if I don't, I do like the repetition of reminding myself what my overall annual goals are. Okay, here's where I get very sad. These two pages are very different this year. So last year, the quarterly refreshes were very similar to those mini goal breakdown pages. Let me show you. This is this quarter that we're going into right now. So you got to write your yearly goal at the top, what your mini goal was, and what the actions were related to your mini goals. And there were 2 pages of these. And I really, really loved them. I really loved using these pages. I think that they were very, very valuable. They don't even have these anymore. They don't have 4 pages. There's just these 2 pages. So the first page is a plan for the season ahead. So you've got a column, like a skinny column to write the goal, and then a thicker column to write the action, and then basically just a lined page to break it down. I don't really like either of these pages. I really don't think either of them does what I need it to do for my quarterly refresh. I really just want those other pages back. Now, they do have a wild card of those other pages, and that's great. But we don't have space to put those. So if you had all 8 goals, and the wildcard page also has space for 3, which feels a little bit strange because then if you print 3 of them, you have 1 empty one if you had 8 goals. Obviously it works if you have 6 goals, and if you have 6 goals, you could put 1 here and 1 here and be done with it. But if you have 7 or 8 goals and you need a third one of those pages, I don't know where you're going to put it. I guess you could put it here on this quote page, or you could put it back here somewhere, like on the April tab page. I don't know. I'm very frustrated because that was something I thought was a really good addition for last year's version, and then they just took it away, and I'm kind of sad. So I have a couple ideas of other options. Obviously, option 1, like I just talked about, is print those wildcard pages and put them in here. If I only end up with 6 goals, that might be what I do. Is just print those wildcard pages, tape them in, and that's my, now I have those pages. Another option is to print the wildcard pages and actually punch them to go in. I know that there's somebody that's talked about a punch that you can buy on Amazon, and you can punch it in and you can just stick it in that way. Another option, which is also kind of what I did last year to brainstorm, was doing it somewhere else. So I did it on my iPad a lot last year just to brainstorm. I might do that again this year. I might use a notebook, which I'll talk about when we get to the accessories. There's also a notepad that they offer that I'll talk about during the accessories that also might be helpful for this. Overall though, I'm very bummed that it's not just like built into the power sheets. Okay, everything else is, you know, the same. We flip through all the months and all the quarterly refreshes. And then the only difference is when we get to the end on this page that is your year in review, it has a place for each month. This year, it just is kind of this big empty page. I also never really use this page. So this isn't really something that I necessarily worry about, because by the time we get to this point, I'm just ready to move into my new power sheets. So those are all the changes that are in the actual power sheets. The other thing is the price did go up slightly. So last year they were $60 for the full year version. Now they're going to be $62, which given the price of shipping and paper and all of those things have gone up this year, and you get that beautiful box, $2 seems pretty reasonable to me. So I feel like it's still a really good deal. $62 for the whole year, I think, is a great investment in your goals and in yourself. They do typically offer a 6-month version of the power sheets that is undated. So it's got all the same prep work, and then it's just got 6 undated monthly sections and 1 quarterly refresh. Last year, they launched at the same time. So my review video also included the 6-month version. This year, they have not said anything yet about when the 6-month ones are gonna launch, what covers they're gonna offer, and how much they're gonna be. So I don't have any information for you yet on the 6-month version. I will share as soon as I know, but that is the full year version of the power sheets. Okay, let's talk about accessories. We're gonna start with the accessories that are brand new for this year, and then we're gonna go into the ones that are revamped. So the first brand new accessory that I'm finally, they're actually doing this, is the snap-in bookmark. So it is a snap-in that's made exactly for the power sheets. So it fits, it'll probably fit other wire O binding as well. But it snaps in like this. It sticks out just a little bit. Actually, let me show you how it sticks out on the actual paper. So it sticks out like pretty far above the actual paper, but then when you close it, it's not really that much above the cover. It is kind of just like, it's like that in between kind of. It's pretty flimsy. It's not the most sturdy. It's not as sturdy as like the Moxie Life ones, but it is not the worst one of these that I've ever felt. It's got a little gold, they're little like Cultivate leaves at the top. I mean, it's good. I do keep my power sheets open on my desk at all times. So I don't necessarily know that this is something that I desperately need to have. But if your power sheets move around with you, I think that these are really helpful, because the tab goes to the first page of the month. And so to be able to put this on your tending list page, if your power sheets stay closed on your desk or move around with you, and then you can easily flip to whatever month we're on, I think that this is a must-have accessory. And this is $6. Little pricey for like a plastic snap-in bookmark, but also pretty comparable to other planner shops. All right, the other snap-in that's new this year is this wildcard page. And again, we talked about wildcards are the printables, and this is about the size that add other functions to your power sheets. It's got the same type of clips, except there's not a thing at the top. There's a tab on the side that sticks out with the other tabs that says wildcard in gold foil. What they say to do with this thing is to use washi tape and tape your wildcard on here. I feel like that was not the best execution. I feel like this should be a pocket. I feel like it should be a clear pocket where I can stick, like not all the way up, but like a pocket where I could stick my wild card in the pocket and not have to tape it. And then I could include more than one wild card. I could include one that shows through on the back. Like, I just feel like having to tape it in feels a little like, I don't know. I don't love that idea. I wish this had been a pocket. But if you do use the wild cards regularly, if that is something that makes a difference in your power sheets, like especially if you are you don't have another planner and the power sheets are your only planner, you could also use this one to put like sticky notes and have like your weekly plan here, and you could do it that way. I don't know. I just feel like I wish it had been a pocket, but this snap-in is $8. Okay, the next new accessory this year is this everyday notebook. And originally I wasn't gonna get this when I ordered my accessories, but I wanted to show it to you. I don't need another notebook, but I will tell you I might use this for my quarterly goals. So this notebook is 6 by 8.5 is the size. It fits pretty much perfectly in this pocket in your power sheet. So it's like, well, it did the other day when I tried. Okay, yeah. It's a little tight. I feel like it'll kind of loosen up a little bit, but it fits basically perfectly there. The notebooks actually come in both lined and dot grid. I'll pop up a picture of the lined because the one I have is dot grid. And then the lined version does come in all 4 patterns. So it comes in this teal tile that I have. It comes in that floral pattern. It comes in a gold lined, like the inside of the power sheets. And then it also comes in a blue with like these little, I don't know, gold. They almost look like little circles on them. And then I have the dot grid one, which I'm gonna credit Cindy with doing all the measuring already. She said the dots are 6 millimeters apart. There are 30 down and 20 across. And the dot one only comes in the teal tile and the gold lines. So I don't know why the dot one doesn't come in all of the patterns, but I decided to go ahead and get this one because I might use this for my quarterly goals. I might keep it in this pocket and use this to break down my quarterly goals since I don't have those pages anymore. Okay. This next accessory, I did not think I was gonna love, but I'm actually really excited about it. And that is this big, massive pouch. Like, oh my gosh, it barely fits in the screen. I love this thing. And I think I need to order it in other patterns as well because I just think it's so pretty. Now, my power sheets hardly ever leave the house. So I didn't necessarily think this was a necessity for me, but I got the bundle, which I'll talk about later, that comes with this pouch. So I got it and I love it. So it's massive because it fits your power sheets. It's meant to fit your power sheets, your sticker book, your notebook, whatever you will need to throw in there. It's like the perfect size and it keeps your power sheets all nice and protected. If your power sheets leave the house, I feel like you need this pouch. Like I feel like this pouch is a necessity if your power sheets don't stay in the same place all of the time. It's just, here's a like size comparison of the power sheets to the pouch. I just love it. It's also super high quality. I mean, their products are always high quality. And so I feel like you could use this pouch for lots of other things as well. The pouch itself comes in 5 designs. So it comes in a pink, a solid pink, a solid blue, a teal, the teal tile, so like the notebook, and then this neutral tile. I kind of wish I'd gotten it in this teal tile, if I'm being honest. I thought the neutral would match better. Well, I got the other pouch in the teal tile. I'll show you in a second. I thought the neutral would match together, but man, I just love it. And I just think the quality is super, super great. Okay, let's talk about some of the brand new accessories that I actually don't have yet because they are in pre-order. So I did order these accessories, not all of them, I'll tell you, but some of them, but they haven't shipped yet. So I don't have them to show today, but I will show them in a future video when I do get them. The first one I'm really excited about, and it is these action card decks. So it's these card decks that have 100 different action ideas for a couple different types of goals. And I know that coming up with action ideas can be really difficult for some people, so I just feel like this was a really good idea. Right now, they're only coming in 3 different goals: wellness, faith, and parent. I ordered the wellness one, and I will definitely share my thoughts in a future video when I get them in my hands. I would expect them to make more of these if they sell well. If they go over well, I would expect them to make them for other goals, but these are the 3 goals that are probably the most common in their community, truthfully. So that's what they're probably starting with. And these action card decks are $22. I think that it's a really cool concept. The other accessory that I don't have that was pre-order were these conversation cards. And this was another really fun idea, especially if you have a goal to work on any kind of relationships, whether it's a focal spouse or romantic relationship or friends or family, siblings, any kind of relationship, conversation cards can be really helpful. I got these mostly because Sam and I recently got some conversation cards in a date box that we had, and we really loved them. And so I thought, well, I'm gonna get more, and I feel like these would be fun to have with friends or any kind of thing. So I ordered these. They are $25, and again, I will share my thoughts in a future video. Okay, let's talk about some of the accessories that are revamped. So the first one is this Little by Little journal. So this is last year's version that I still have and haven't touched, and this is this year's version. So this year's version is a little tiny bit bigger, like you can barely see. The biggest difference between them is that last year's version had this like squishy cover, and this year's version is just like a hard cover, but it's still very beautiful. I actually like last year's design better. This is that trellis design, but it's in like just a light faint blue. But on the inside, it's got a page for basically every week and a box for every day, and you can write the date, and then you can make a note of something, progress that you made, a win, something you're thankful for. It also has a little ribbon so you can keep track. And now I have 2, and I have no idea what I'm gonna use them for next year. There are lots of fun ideas, and it's got a quote on every page. Y'all know I love the quotes, and I just really love them. I think these are beautiful little products. I also feel like this makes a really good gift. Okay, I'm gonna stop showing the one that you can't get, but I love this. And I think that this is a really good option. If you're gonna do one of the bundles that you get to pick your own accessories, I think you should throw this one in. Okay, the next revamped accessory is the sticker book, and a couple of things. Number one, the biggest change is the type of sticker paper that they're using. So their stickers in the past have always been very thick, like they've been almost like cardstock paper, and now they feel like almost like a vinyl sticker. Like it's so much thinner, which is gonna be so nice. It's not gonna add so much like thickness to your pages, and I just think that this is definitely an upgrade in terms of the type of stickers. So a lot of the pages are very similar to past years, except they've kind of revamped them a little bit. There's a couple brand new pages we'll talk about, and then definitely the color changes. So we've got a page of flowers. They always kind of include a page of flowers. These are a little bit smaller than last year, which I feel like is a little bit more accessible on your pages. A quote page. You'll know this is one of my favorite pages. I of course wish it was silver foil instead of gold, but I love that one. Then you've got a washi page. They did this the last couple of years too. I think that these are pretty. I didn't really find myself using these as much, but fun pages. Then we have the color coding pages. So we've got 2 pages of flags, and then we go into the color coding dots, and that's where I'm gonna show you the change in the colors. So here is a side-by-side, let's zoom it in a little bit, of last year to this year. So the purple is basically the same. The blue is actually a little bit lighter. Then we only have 1 teal. Instead of last year we had a light teal and a dark teal, now we only have that dark teal. The green is definitely a little bit lighter. This light green is basically like brand new color instead of that light teal. The yellow is a lot more yellow and way less like of an orangey yellow. Then we have this orange, which is actually kind of similar to last year's orangey yellow, but definitely more of an orange. This one kind of replaces the red. There's no more red. Then we have the peach. It's a little bit of a lighter peach. We have kind of this like darker pinky peach. It's a little bit lighter than last year. The red is gone, and then the pink is basically the same. I love the new colors. I never really found myself using the red anyway, so I really like the color swap for this year. I will probably skip over, I don't feel like I need 2 peaches. I'll probably skip this peach. If I end up with 8 goals, I'll probably skip this peach and then probably one of the greens, maybe the darker green. I also probably won't use both pinks if I end up with less goals, and then we'll see. I feel like I try to stick as close as I can to Roy G. Biv, so if I end up with like 6 goals, I'll probably do like pink, orange, yellow, one of the greens, and then blue and purple. It's not really purple. I guess it's like a light, it's like a periwinkle. I know a lot of people requested that they do like a purple. Now, these colors do coordinate with the colors in the Cultivated Life evaluation. I am here to tell you, you do not have to color code that way. In fact, I regularly do not actually color code that way. Where the heck is that page? So for me, like I feel like finances should be green. I don't know. That's what I always do. Like finances for me is always green, and actually this one doesn't match all that well. This is a lot more blue than this one being purple. So I guess they aren't quite perfect. I guess the rest of them kind of match. So I always feel like finances needs to be green, and then I just always make health and wellness blue. Like that's just what I do. So don't feel like you have to, like you're trying to match the colors of these pages to the color coding, right? You can do whatever you want. Last year I made the pink my focal, like my relationship with Sam, because it felt like it should be love. But you know what? I kind of also want to make pink PlanwithLaken, because that's like the PlanwithLaken color. So I don't know, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to match up the colors. But the colors are new this year. I think that they're pretty. I like that update. So you've got the color coding dots. You've got 2 pages of those. And then you've got the Feel the Love page, which is the one I used here. I don't actually ever use this page. It's got hearts instead of dots. Now here's where the color coding gets difficult. So they have these pages that have the little icons that we showed on that page in the power sheets, and they have each of the colors. So if you did want to use this page of stickers, you have to use the colors that they have, right? So for finances, it's this like periwinkle color. It matches better here than it did in the book. You know, health is green, focal relationship is this teal color. Like, I don't know. I probably won't use this page, to be honest. Then this is the other new page that they have. So this page is marking whether it's a habit goal, a finish line goal, or a big dream goal. I do like that. I will use these. Obviously, I wish they weren't gold foil, but I will use these to mark those different types of goals. So the 2 pages we lost to gain those 2 pages were the alphabet page, which I think is fine because I don't think anybody ever really used the alphabet page. And then we lost these pages that had these progress bars that fit perfectly in the like progress bar of the tending list. And I know a lot of people are gonna be bummed that they don't have these anymore. I never really use these stickers. I would just shade in my progress bar with my pen, but I know that some people are sad that these stickers are gone. Also, I still don't like the way, like, look, this page has already popped out and I haven't even used the sticker book. I don't love the structure of their sticker books at all. Okay, so then we have this page, which is Celebrate Progress. Then we have these Prioritize It pages with these flags. We have a colorful one and then a gold foil one. Then we have this page with all the little hearts. And then this page is new too, because we used to get 2 pages of these and now we don't have any. And this page is new too. This page looks more like planner stickers, honestly, more than like power sheet stickers, but it's fine. And then we have a page of quotes. I do like the upgrade and the colors. I don't think I'm gonna use this page, but that is the new revamped sticker book. I do still recommend the sticker book if it is your first time using power sheets. Being able to do the color coordinating with the sticker book, I think is very helpful. All right, the next revamped accessory is the accessory pouch. So very similar to last year. It's got nice, like probably vegan leather, zipper pull. It's got the elastic to go around your power sheets, different color on the inside. It is a smidge smaller. You're probably hardly even gonna be able to tell on camera, but it's like a very little bit smaller on that way and then a little bit smaller on that way. But let's check and make sure that the sticker book still fits in there. Yep. And that's the most important part. I think also if you're brand new, getting a pouch, hold your sticker book and your favorite pens for your power sheets is important to keep it all together. So I got the trellis and the teal. I just think it's just so pretty. I just love the way that it looks. So I did get the new accessory pouch this year. And the accessory pouch is $20. It is a little bit pricey for a pouch, like truthfully, but again, it is very high quality and you can use it for other things. This accessory pouch only comes in 3 designs. So it comes in this teal tile, it comes in the flower design, and then it comes in a light blue. One of the other things that they've added this year, I think is really cool, is this color selecting tool. So if you are planning to get both the big pouch and the little pouch, it has this tool on the website where you can like pick between the big pouch, the little pouch, and then the power sheets colors and see how they look together and just play around and figure out what combination you like the most. I think that tool is so fun to like figure out a color combination. There are definitely some things I probably wouldn't have put together, but when you see it all together like on the website, it's really fun. Okay, the next accessory that I have in the revamped category, but it actually didn't change at all, is this Break It Down notepad. This is the other option I'm considering for my quarterly breakdowns now that I don't have those pages. And I just really love their notepads. Their notepad quality, like the paper is fantastic. You've got the goal at the top, you put the why, and then you've got all of your action steps. I don't necessarily think I would use the due date column, but then it's got a place to check it off and then some notes at the bottom. But I think that this could be a good option. I could see myself, like, depending on how many goals I have, right, ripping them off and sticking them in the pocket for each quarter to break down each quarterly goal. The next revamped accessory is this daily notepad, which I actually did a whole video doing a plan with me every day for a week with this notepad. I love this thing. I like to pull this notepad out when I need some extra like guidance for the day. When I started planning hourly, I just think that it's really helpful. The design is a little bit different. It's like this one where it's got a color block at the top that's teal instead of this just doesn't have that at the top, but the design is the same, the layout is the same. And again, their paper quality is fantastic and you get a ton of pages. So if you don't have a daily planner that you like, or I saw Taylor from Tattoo Teacher Plans, she is using this just on the weekends because she has a different planner that she likes for the weekdays when she's working, but on the weekend she feels like she needs a little bit more structure, so she pulls this out. Okay, the next revamped accessory, I don't have the revamped version of. It's in my box, it's not here yet, and that is the washi. This is like some random washi from prior years. I just wanted to pull this out so I could talk to the quality of their washi. Cindy kind of said it best in hers. It's average, right? It is not like the highest quality washi that I've ever felt, but it's also not like awful paper washi. It actually feels like washi. And the designs are really pretty. I personally do not use washi that much anymore, and so I don't feel the need to buy the new washi every year. But if you love washi and use it, their designs are beautiful. And they actually have 2 different color designs this year. So they have a colorful, like bright, which is what they normally launch. And then they've also got a neutral one. So they've got the same designs in both. They just got 2 different color schemes and they have gold foil. So the washi is a good option for an accessory if you do love and use washi regularly. The next accessory that I also don't have are the page markers. And I used to have old versions of these, but honestly, I got rid of them because I just don't think they're that good. I don't think they're that high quality. They're not that strong. It kind of stays on one page. They just aren't really that great. And this year, instead of it being a pack of 3, you actually get them individually, which is nice because then you get to pick the colors, but they're $5 each. And I just feel like that's kind of pricey for a magnetic page marker. So I wanted to tell you about them because they are an option when you get to pick accessories when we talk about the bundles, but I really don't think they're that worth it. The next accessory is the weekly sticky notepad. And I actually used to have this, but I do not anymore because I actually used it all. I used it all up. I loved this notepad for meal planning. It is sticky. Unlike these are not sticky. These 2 notepads are just like a notepad. The weekly notepad is actually sticky, and it's a really good option if you don't have a weekly planner that you like and you just want to use the power sheets and have that weekly sticky notepad. It also is good for other stuff. I've used it for meal planning. I used it for social media planning. I used it for knowing my work schedule at one point, like so I could know what I needed to wear back when we were going into the office. It does come in 2 colors now. It comes in like a teal, and then it also comes in a blue. So this is a great option if you're looking for something like this to throw in your accessory bundle. And then the last accessory I have to talk about, I also don't have to show you because I just don't use them, so I don't keep them on hand, and that is the pre-printed wildcard pages. So every year they launch a pack of wildcard pages that has a bunch of different designs, and the paper quality is okay. It's slightly better than printer paper, but it's not the quality of like their notepads or the power sheet paper. It's not even really cardstocky. So if you don't have access to a printer and you regularly use the wildcard pages, go for it and get those wildcard pages. But otherwise, I feel like you can just print the ones that you need off online and use that accessory slot for something else. Okay, let's talk about the launch day bundles. So launch day is Wednesday, October 6th at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and they have a number of bundles where you can save some money if you're looking to get the power sheets plus some accessories. The launch day bundles do typically sell out because they only have so many combinations of the different pattern options. So if you're interested in a bundle, definitely plan to order on launch day. So let's start with the first one, which is the best sellers bundle. And that comes with a set of power sheets. You get to pick the cover, a pouch, an accessory pouch, you get to pick the design, washi tape, you get to pick between the colorful and the neutral, a page marker, and you get to pick the color. There's a lot of options, the sticker book, and then the wildcard page pack. And this is what they always recommend if it is your first year using power sheets. And I will agree with that. I don't necessarily think you need all of those accessories if it's your first year, but if it is your first year and it is within your budget, I do recommend getting the power sheets, the stickers so that you can do the color coordinating, and then an accessory pouch so that you can keep your stickers and your favorite pen all together with your power sheets. And all 3 of those things combined is $97, and this bundle is $99. So for $2 more, you get all of those extra accessories. So the value of that bundle is $128, and again, it is $99 for those 6 items. Okay, the next bundle is really cool. I started doing this last year and they've kind of revamped it a little bit this year, and it is the custom bundle. And I think that this is just a really cool concept. This is actually the bundle that I purchased when I got my set of power sheets and accessories. So the way that it works, you get 8 items total. So you get 1 set of power sheets, you get to pick the cover, you get 1 of the larger pouches, you get to pick the design, and 1 of the accessory pouches, you get to pick the design. Then you get to pick 5 other accessories, and you can pick between any of the accessories that they offer that we talked about earlier. Any of the accessories, plus actually even some other sticker packs that are on their website that I didn't talk about today. So you get to pick 5 of your own accessories. And the best difference from last year is that you can actually double up on accessories. So if you really want 2 of the snap-in bookmarks, or if you want to get a second little by little journal to give as a gift, you can actually do multiple of the same accessory. You could not do that last year, and I think that's really a really cool addition. I will say that last year they did not force you to choose the pouches, and I kind of wish they didn't do that, because if it's not your first year, you may not need a new accessory pouch. So I kind of wish you didn't have to get the pouches, but it is still a really good deal. Obviously, the value depends on which accessories you're picking. If you're picking some of the pricier accessories like the journals versus like the snap-in bookmark, it's going to be worth more, but this could value up to $229, and it is $139 for those 8 items. So again, the power sheets, both pouches, and then 5 accessories for $139. That is, in my opinion, is the best deal. If you can make that work in your budget and be able to pick up some of those fun accessories, I think that that bundle is just a really good deal and a really cool concept. And then the last bundle is the I Want It All bundle. So if you saw all the accessories and you were like, I want one of everything Laken, they do have a bundle for that. It values at $310 and it retails for $229, and you get a set of power sheets plus 18 different accessories. So basically one of everything that we talked about earlier. You get lots of accessories. This is such a fun box of goodies. If that is in your budget and you want all of the accessories, they do offer that bundle as well. All right, let's talk about Cultivate Your Year Live. So they started this event in 2019 and it was in person and it was amazing. I had the best time. I learned so much. I met so many amazing people. It was just, it was the best. Going in person was the best. And so going into 2020, I had the vacation time and the budget, in my actual budget, to go to in person in 2020. Obviously, we could not do in person last December, and I completely understood that. And so they did a virtual one, and I was all excited. I took the day off of work. I was ready to go. And honestly, it wasn't my favorite. I did not love virtual. I didn't feel like it was the same vibe as in person. Yes, I got through all of my prep work, but I didn't feel like I got as many learning and nuggets outside of the prep work time. And it didn't fill me up the same way that the in-person one did. But I understood that's what we had to do. So going into this year, I put it back into my vacation plan and back into my budget to go in person because I was hoping that by December of this year, it would be safe enough to do in person. But they are doing it virtually again. And I have mixed feelings because for me, the virtual just wasn't the same as in person. And so I am still planning to attend this year. I have purchased my ticket to go to the virtual event. And what I'm doing a little bit different to try and make it feel a little bit more like in person is I have two friends that live here in New York, and we are going to a hotel, and we have a suite with a little table, and we're gonna sit and be in a distraction-free zone and be able to really focus on our power sheets and be there together and hopefully give some of the vibe of it being in a different space than our own apartments and the focus that our power sheets prep work deserves. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm still gonna feel like I'm not learning as much, in the actual virtual event, but I'm hoping that by being there with my friends, it's a little bit more, I don't know, it just feels a little bit different than it did last year when I was alone in my little brother's room. So for you, if you're trying to decide if Cultivate Your Live is worth it, if you are a first-time power sheets user, if you feel like you struggle with overthinking and procrastinating as you work through the prep work, and if you're able to take that day off, I know it is a Monday, and so most of us that have 9-to-5 jobs, that can be very difficult to take that day off. But if you're able to make that work, I think it can be worth it because by the end of the day, you're done with the power sheets prep work. But if you are struggling to take that day off, or you feel like, no, I'm pretty good at getting through my prep work, I'm pretty disciplined and I can get through it without overthinking on each page, then I don't necessarily think it has to be for everybody. So just keep that in mind when you're deciding if you're gonna go. I do think it's valuable. It gets you through all of the prep work. By the way, I definitely don't feel rushed. I know that's also another common concern is that people feel like, oh, if I have to get through all the prep work in one day, I'm gonna feel really rushed. I never felt that way, either in person or virtual. I always felt like I had enough time to work on each page. I just didn't necessarily feel like I needed the virtual setup to get through it last year. Whereas in person, it just made a big difference. So those are my thoughts. If you are going to purchase it, definitely get it on launch day. It is $49 on launch day, and it counts towards free shipping. So even if all you're getting are the power sheets and the live session, you'll hit free shipping for your power sheets. So get it on launch day for $49. After launch day, it jumps up to $99. If you have any other questions about Cultivate Your Year Live, trying to figure out if it's a good fit for you, if you have a specific situation, please feel free to ask in the comments and let's chat and figure out if it's a good fit for you. Like I said, I don't love the virtual, but I am still signing up this year and I'm just trying something a little bit different to hopefully give it that different vibe. Okay. That is it. I know this was a long video, but I hope that it was helpful for you in making some decisions on whether or not the power sheets are a good fit for you next year and what accessories you want and all the decisions that you need to make before launch day. Please let me know if you have any additional questions down in the comments below. I'm so excited to jump into my new power sheets. Every year, the prep work teaches me something and changes my life for the better. And I hope that those of you that decide to use power sheets in 2022 feel the same way. If you liked this video, if you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. And it has absolutely changed my life. I just hit my chair. So I'm so excited. All right, let's get into the We have this first page that's I think it's a really cool product. It does come in two. The lighting is so bad.